It was exactly 6 o'clock in the evening. The sun had already dipped below the horizon, and one by one, the lights inside the department offices flickered to life. The noise and chaos of the day had faded away, leaving behind an unusual, almost eerie silence. Inside the large central hall, a ceiling fan turned lazily, slicing through the still air. A handful of officers lingered, waiting impatiently for their shifts to end. Officer Miller, an aging man with tired eyes, leaned back in his chair with his legs stretched out, casually flipping through a newspaper. Nearby, a younger officer, Jones, sat glued to his phone, watching a video with a faint, distracted smile. The entire room felt heavy, slow, drained of energy, and then a faint scratching sound broke the silence. Everyone froze for a second. The heavy wooden door creaked open just slightly, and from the narrow gap, a thin, fragile girl peeked inside. She looked no older than 18 or 19. Her face was pale, drained of life, marked by exhaustion and fear. Her wide blue eyes trembled with panic, like a hunted animal searching desperately for safety. Her clothes were worn out, torn, and coated in dust. Her messy blonde hair and bare feet told a painful story of hardship and neglect. It was obvious she hadn't eaten or slept properly in days. Her voice trembled as she spoke softly. "Sir, please help me." Jones barely looked up from his phone. When he did, he smirked and shot a glance at Miller. Miller slowly lowered his newspaper and peered at her over his glasses. His tone was heavy with sarcasm. "What's this now? Is there a festival going on outside? This is the captain's office, not a charity center or homeless shelter. Get out." The girl flinched as if struck. Her feet froze at the doorway, but she didn't leave. Her eyes filled with tears. Summoning what little courage she had left, she whispered, "I'm not begging, sir. My sister, my little sister is missing. Please, help me find her." The words echoed through the hall. For a brief moment, the dull atmosphere cracked, but instead of sympathy, a clerk sitting nearby chuckled. Jones smirked and added mockingly, "Oh wow, now we're finding lost sisters too. What is this place? Some daycare for missing kids. Every day someone walks in with a story." Miller snapped sharply, "Are you out of your mind? This isn't your local station. The captain works here. Don't waste our time. Go report it where it belongs." Tears rolled freely down her cheeks now. With trembling hands, she pulled out a crumpled, worn photograph from her dirty bag. The picture was faded and blurry, but it showed a little girl laughing joyfully. "This is my sister, Lily. She's only 10. She disappeared last night from our neighborhood. I've searched everywhere. Please." Her voice broke under the weight of desperation. For a second, silence filled the room again, but Miller remained unmoved. "Girls from poor areas run off all the time," he said coldly. "Maybe she left with someone. She'll come back. We can't go chasing every missing kid. Now leave." "I already went to the local station," the girl cried. "They called me a beggar. They drove me away." Miller and Jones exchanged amused looks, as if this was completely normal. And that was it. The girl broke down completely. She stood there, lost, broken, with nowhere left to go, just as her body began to give in. A deep, commanding voice thundered from inside the inner cabin. "What is all that noise out there?" It was Captain William. His name alone carried weight across the entire state. Known for his discipline, integrity, and fearless work, criminals feared him, and civilians respected him deeply. The moment his voice echoed, the entire hall snapped to attention. Miller straightened instantly. Jones shoved his phone into his pocket. "Nothing, sir," Miller stammered. "Just a girl. Says her sister is missing." There was a pause. Then the captain's voice came again. Firm. Controlled. "A missing person is never a small matter, Officer Miller. Learn the difference between begging and a plea for help. Send her in." Miller's face drained of color. He gestured awkwardly toward the girl. "The captain wants to see you." The girl, Mary, walked toward the cabin, her legs shaking with every step. Her heart pounded wildly. What if he was just like the others? She knocked softly. "Come in," the voice replied. Inside, the cabin was spacious and immaculate. Behind a large desk sat Captain William, his uniform crisp, badges gleaming under the light. His face was stern, yet his eyes held an unexpected calm. He looked at Mary carefully. In a single glance, he understood everything. Without saying a word, he stood up, poured a glass of water, and handed it to her. His voice softened. "Sit down, child. Drink this first. Then tell me everything." Mary was stunned. She accepted the glass with trembling hands and drank it in one go. For the first time, she felt human again. Gathering herself, she began, "My name is Mary, and my sister Lily." She explained everything. The water tap, the children playing, Lily disappearing, the desperate search through the night, and the rejection she faced at the local station. When she finished, she placed the photograph on his desk. William picked it up and froze. He stared at the image, longer than expected. Something wasn't right. "Mary," he said slowly, "this photo, it looks old. Where was it taken?" Her eyes dimmed with sadness. "My father took it years ago, at a fair. Not long after that, he left us. Since then, it's just been me and Lily. I work to take care of her. She's all I have." William's throat tightened. "What was your father's name?" "Robert." The name hit him like lightning. Robert, a name buried deep within his childhood memories, fragments of a past he had never fully understood. His eyes dropped to her arm. There it was, a deep burn scar. His breath caught. "What happened to your arm?" "There was a fire. When I was little," Mary said. "My father saved me, but he got burned badly. After that, he disappeared." The world around William began to blur. Flames, screams, pain. He remembered it now. That same fire, that same scar, on his own back. His voice trembled. "Mary, do you remember your father clearly?" She shook her head. "Not much, just bits and pieces." William stood up suddenly, his eyes filled with tears. "No, he didn't abandon you," he said softly. "He was forced away. And Mary, I believe we share the same father." Mary stared at him, confused. "What are you saying?" Tears rolled down his face. "I'm your brother, William." The room fell into complete silence. Mary's lips trembled. "Brother?" William showed her an old photograph from his wallet. It matched perfectly, and that was it. Mary broke down, crying as she rushed into his arms. Years of pain, loneliness, and separation dissolved in that moment. Outside, the officers watched in horror. The girl they had mocked was the captain's own sister. Inside, William gently comforted her. "I'm here now. Nothing will happen to Lily. I promise. I'll find her." His voice turned firm again. He pressed the intercom. "Alert the entire county. Set up roadblocks. Broadcast her photo everywhere. This case is under my command. I want updates every 30 minutes. The station exploded into action. Within minutes, the entire system was alive. Hours passed. Then, at 11 p.m., a lead came in. A child was being held in a warehouse. William ordered an immediate raid. Moments later, the call came. "Sir, we found her. Lily was safe." Mary burst into tears of joy. Soon after, Lily arrived. The moment she saw Mary, she ran into her arms. The sisters cried, holding each other tightly. William stood nearby, overwhelmed. Today, he wasn't just an officer. He was a brother, a family. Later that night, he took both sisters home. His wife Jennifer welcomed them warmly. "From now on, this is your home too." For the first time in years, they ate together, like a real family, and that night, the broken pieces of their lives finally came together. So friends, how did this emotional journey of Captain William and his sisters touch your heart? If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories like this. And tell us in the comments, what do you think about people like Captain William? Until next time, thank you for watching.